In this episode, we're going to learn how to cook stuffed salmon. Stuffed salmon, one of my favorite entrees to make. Can sound daunting, and maybe the first couple of times it is, but really it isn't. Nothing to be afraid of. Today it's going to be spinach stuffed salmon, and here are the ingredients we're going to need. Spinach, chopped, that we're going to saute. Ricotta cheese. I am going to add white onion to it, and that's what we're going to stuff it with. You can add Parmesan to it. You can even add an egg for binding, but I prefer to do neither. So, then what else do you need? Well, you might need salmon as well, and that's over there. And that's about it. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is saute the chopped baby spinach. As you can see, the duck fat is nice and melted now. And so all we do is just dump all of the spinach in. Get it nice and coated. Now, we are going to season the stuffing after we incorporate it with the ricotta and the onion. So, other than the duck fat, I'm going to caution you from seasoning it now. Those of you who have already sauteed spinach know that this is going to end up to be about like very little. But we don't need much to stuff salmon. While we're standing around here waiting for this stuff to, this lovely spinach to get finished, I'm going to change my mind and actually stuff it with mushrooms as well. So there's a little butter for the mushrooms that are going to be the stuffing now. Need to add just a little bit of olive oil so the butter doesn't burn. Yeah, this is coming around nicely now. Turn off the heat. When it gets about like this, it's still going to cook. Just turn off the heat and let it do its thing. Sorry for the bang. We're going to finish these mushrooms here. Coat it in the butter and just leave it alone. Well, you get the idea. Let's swing over to the island and we will get working on the stuffing. Okay. Back here at the island, we're going to assemble put together the stuffing. I changed my mind. I did end up sauteing the onions and adding mushroom. And this is what it looks like. What I'm going to suggest is we add the everything but the cheese to begin with. So you know exactly how much cheese to add. Let's get all of these yummies. Okay. Then we add some ricotta. And you know, how much is going to depend on how much stuffing we have, right? You're going to want to eyeball it and get it about half and half, or maybe 60-40 cheese to guts. You know what I meant. Lovely spinach and mushrooms and onion. Well, that's a good place to start. We're probably going to need a little bit more. And then we just try to incorporate as best as we can here. Yeah, we're definitely going to need more. It doesn't have to be exact, of course. Only baking has to be exact. Now is when you want to add a little salt and pepper. It's out of camera range, of course. And be generous with the pepper. Salt, not so much in this case because salmon's going to be salty. Okay, that's the stuffing. Now, let's prepare the fish. I noticed something funky about my salmon, and I am a novice cook. I don't know what it is. But let's see if you guys can see. Yeah, you can. See that little discoloration? If any of you more learned chefs know what that is, just hit me up in the comments underneath the video, because I'm not going to risk it. I'm actually going to remove this little piece with room to spare, because I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'll show you how to work around this little caveat, this little hiccup. The tail end of the fish is a doggone tough to stuff. One of the ways you can is to actually stuff and roll and then just tie it. But what I'm going to do off camera, because we are going to eat this, is I'm just going to cut these into small pieces, fry them up so they're nice and add it to the veggies. That's going to be a side. Okay. First, what we want to do is portion off the salmon, about 6 to 8 ounces per person. Something like that. We'll see what we can do with this bad boy. Then the next thing you want to do, and I'm going to have to stack this like this, so an angle. Hope we can. What you want to do is fatten up the salmon. There we go. Take your paring knife. Now this will not work if you have a paring knife that is imitating a butter knife. But here's how we do it. I guess it's about 2 inches in on this kind of cut, and just pull towards you. Being careful not to cut through the top or through the bottom. Let me show you another one. Now we're going to do the, oh, you know what? Look, it's discolored over here too. Why mess? So you're creating a little pocket. Easy peasy to do it again. This one, couple more. And I know what some of you are saying, oh my God, he's cutting towards his hand, which is not a good idea. But I've done this a few times. Not that I won't get nicked on occasion. But over time, you kind of get a feel for your favorite kind of meals. All right, so there are the pockets. Then we just take our stuffing and stuff it full. There's two. Here's our little suspect piece. That'll be mine. And it doesn't need to be closed. It's going to open up anyway when it bakes. All right, here's the next step. Now it's time to season our fish. I'm going to add a little salt, a little kosher salt, a little pepper, I'm going to add Paul Prudhomme's salmon seasoning. My family loves this. There's several out on the market. This one is unique in that it has a little sugar in it. With the Cajun spices. Okay, we have now seasoned both sides. I have lost 2 cameras. We're down to 1. Should have recharged the batteries. But let's bring it over to the heat. Here's how we're going to finish it off with heat. We are going to sear it, put it on a cookie sheet that's been oiled, and then bake it for, well, again, it's going to depend on the size of your fish. But in this case, this size, I'm going to bake it at 400 for about 8 minutes, 10 minutes, I think. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sear these. Add a little oil, olive oil. This is extra virgin olive oil. And then you want to place the presentation side down first. And I'll show you why. And I'm going to save myself the embarrassment of cooking in front of you, the broken one, because that would overload the pan conveniently. As I recommended or suggested in a previous searing episode, once you place, in this case the fish, but once you place the meat in the pan, don't touch it. Let it do its magic. And in this case, the room temperature fish it won't take but a couple minutes. But I'm looking for a specific color, a specific amount of caramelization. All right, so I'm just going to sneak a peek here at the one I put in first. Oh boy, that is what I'm looking for. Now, if there was someone sitting at my bar, I'd be flipping it towards me. And this is what it looks like. So while we are finishing the other side, searing the other side, I'm going to get my cookie sheet, prepare it with a little extra virgin olive oil, and get these guys in the oven. Oh, by the way, something when you're using your fish spatula, you want to attack it from the thin side towards the fat side. Just keep it together. You've got a better chance, let's put it that way, of keeping it together. Or at least I do. Okay, I wanted to give us a quick look of what it looks like before it goes into the oven. And it's going in. It's going in at 400 degrees for about 7 or 8 minutes, maybe less. And I will show you the end result after I finish the rest of the meal. And this is the end result. So quick review. The stuffing for the salmon was chopped baby spinach sautéed in duck fat actually, but it could be in butter or it could be in bacon fat. White onion and mushroom, along with ricotta cheese. Now I chose not to add Parmesan, but Parmesan goes very well in that stuffing. You saw how I created a little pocket with a paring knife, a sharp paring knife, in each piece of the salmon and stuffed it. And you also saw how I seared it, a couple minutes on each side, and then a salmon this size, stuffed, took about 7 minutes to finish in a 400-degree oven. I'll put all the instructions in detail in the video description. I hope this wasn't too daunting. I hope it was easy. It is fairly simple. And as always, thanks for watching.